Welcome to MD's Levrone Report in the house. Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
We got a damn good show.
How did you pull this off, Kevin? How? I don't get it.
Yeah.
You're good.
The Hodge Twins is in the house, everybody. In the house here, MD Levrone Report. Welcome, fellas. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Kev, man. I know you guys have been busy. And thank you for coming on, man. It's a great honor to have you here.
Thank you. Oh, thanks for having us, Kev.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
yeah.
You guys got to do the intro. Do that. Yeah, we on a
Levrone
Report. Yeah.
Got a damn good show on the Levrone Report today.
All right. Keith, raise your hand.
We're right here.
Kevin, okay, yeah, Kevin over there.
Yeah.
So y'all are like identical twins.
Yeah, they actually say we mirror twins because one of us left-handed, the other one's right-handed. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But after you known us for a while, especially in person, there's some major differences. Because Keith, you look at me, I'm like more nice and more calm. Keith looks like mean, like he's gonna rip your head off or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Ron, when I met Kevin and Keith for the first time, I think we were the Expo show over in Germany. And I was like, damn, man, you guys are tall. Like 6'2".
Yeah, 6'2". Probably 6'1.5" now.
I was
6'3" in high school.
In bodybuilding, anything over 5'8" is tall.
Yeah.
And I was impressed, man, because I ran across your videos on YouTube and just your approach to training. And you guys are ripped and everything, man. And I mean, so tell me, Keith and Kev, you guys still hitting the gym as you're traveling around, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, we still hit the gym. Our diet's not good.
Yeah, well, y'all look like you're still in shape.
I don't care how long you train. You train 10 hours a day. If your diet is whack, you're gonna look whack. Yeah. You'll still be strong, have some muscle, but you're not gonna look as fit as the next guy who's got a cleaner diet. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we hit the gym about 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah.
Do you? Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's a part of our life now. We've been doing it so long.
I know. I was going to ask you if you miss it or where you guys were at with that, So I wanted to, I don't know. I mean, I know you guys have kind of turned the corner and gotten into the political ring. It's definitely a ring,
Yeah.
Constant battle out there, both sides. I mean, America's so divided right now. But we'll talk about that stuff later on a positive note. We'll go down that road because, but what I wanted to get into was like, just the history. Like, I know you guys are in the military and, and everything. I think, a lot of your listeners, they want to know, well, who are the Hodge Twins? What's the history? How did you guys, come up and just decided to even, what was it that led you into the road of, being physically fit? Why don't we just start there?
Man, we used to always look at magazines, see you and all ripped. I was like, man, I bet that dude gets all kinds of women. I remember I was in a Kroger's. I was trying to shoplift because I was hungry and had no money. I went over to the magazine. I said, man, this dude is ripped. Yeah. You was on the front cover. You was like double front bicep. I started reading it. And the guy came around the cashier and said, hey, you can't read that unless you're going to buy it. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah. That was a long time ago. Man, I was, I think I was like maybe 13, 14. Yeah. That was a long time ago. And we went back and forth with the gym for years, but we didn't really stick to it. We was like 32 years old. Yeah. It was a span when we was in the military. We hit it hard for like 2-3 years. Nah, that was like a year. That was it. We was looking good, but then we quit. That was around 23, right? 22, and then we picked it back up at 32 because I guess didn't like looking at myself in the mirror. I thought it was disgusting. I met my wife, Kevin. He said, "Oh, look, Kevin, look at he's got a nice shirt on." I was like, I was going to cuss her ass out. I was like, "You ain't looking at me." Yeah, that gave me the motivation because my wife was checking out dudes who hit the gym because I was skinny and fat. So right. We started getting back into it, and you probably know, I mean, you put it down for a little while. it's like when we did it for those 1 or 2 years when we was in military, it came back real quick, even though I hadn't lived it for like maybe 10 years. Yeah. It was like riding a bicycle. But this time we was a lot more serious. Yeah. And right around that time when we started hitting the gym, we was going to 24-hour fitness. We came across your YouTube channel. It's called the Levrone Report. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And me and Kel's like, man, let's get on this YouTube thing. Yeah. You know, we wasn't really fitness at first. We were just doing current events and stuff like that. And then people seen us getting in shape, and it was like, won't you start a YouTube channel where you give fitness tips? Yeah, because we saw your channel. You was one of the very first fitness channels I came across. Yeah, you was documenting your progress. You was showing what you was eating.
Yeah.
Showing your daily routine. I said, man, this is cool. I mean, a lot of people need to do a lot more of this because a lot of people had a lot of questions like I did. So we started doing it, but you know, we was making it funny. We were just being ourselves. And it really gravitated towards a lot of people. Yeah. People took kind to it, you know, like overnight. Yeah, we had no idea it was going to blow up like it did.
Yeah. I mean, it did in a good way. I want to say that because even though, you know, y'all had that comedy in it, you still had a place where people could go and feel like they were part of the community, right? Because it's all about that community, man. Really.
Yeah, right.
Ron, I was when we were overseas, what show were we at over there, Keith and Kev? What show was that in?
I think it was Australia. The first time I ran into you. Yeah, it was Australia. And then we ran into you at Germany too. I think we actually came to your booth in Germany. You came to our booth.
And Ron, it hit me. It hit me. So here we are at this fitness event, right? Yeah. We're at this fitness event, right, Ron? Yeah. And it's like, you know, I'm thinking, you know, everybody know me, but Keith and Kevin, their line was stretched around the whole auditorium. Yeah. Yeah. And that's when I know, I was like, what in the world is going on here? And you guys, you guys reach the whole entire world. The whole entire world embraced what you guys are doing, man. And I was like, man, this is incredible, you know? And I was blown away, man. Do y'all miss by the covert coming in, you know, do you miss being out on the road and you know, things like that? And when are you guys going back out on tour again? I know you posted some things that you're going to be back up, but tell us about the whole covert thing, Keith and Kev.
Yeah, the COVID thing, you know, that shut down everything for everybody. But it really didn't bother us because, you know, our job, you know, we're self-employed and, you know, we didn't really feel the restrictions like a lot of Americans did. I know a lot of people was told that they couldn't work because they wasn't deemed essential. Yeah. But it gave us a lot of time to concentrate on, you know, building our brand on social media, YouTube, Facebook, putting our message out there. Yeah. And we was delving into politics. So it was really a blessing in disguise for us, so to speak, because of what was going on in America and in politics. So it gave us a huge opportunity to do more of the videos and reach more people. Yeah.
That's good, man.
But we supposed to be getting back on the road. It's later this year. We're going to Texas, October, Indiana. Yeah. But I want to tell you, man, like when I first started doing when I did the fitness expos, that could be rough being away from home and sleeping in strange rooms like hotels. It was fun though. It was fun, but when you travel on the road for comedy, man, that is rough. Yeah,
it's tough, huh?
And you know what's real tough? It's crazy when we was doing the fitness expos and we was going to these events. We had no idea. I mean, we seen how many subscribers we had on YouTube and stuff like that, but we didn't know like the joy we was putting in people's lives saying the dumb shit that we say. I mean, these people was like standing in line for like hours and they were so happy to see us. Yeah. And we had no idea we was making that kind of impact with people. Yeah. I mean, that like when we was going to London, Australia, Germany. I was like, man, I never thought just starting a YouTube channel talking about fitness stuff was going to be that big. I think that opened the lives to a lot of people, especially like bodybuilders like you and
because
they had this huge platform that they wasn't tapping into yet. And you had like two nobodies, two strangers come in and have all the success. I mean, when we did it, we didn't even foresee that, you know, it was going to be that popular. But I mean, when we came out on YouTube and started doing the fitness thing, it really opened a lot of people's eyes in the fitness industry. Yeah. We got a a lot of hate for that.
Hey,
It was people talking shit to us.
Like what? What were they possibly complaining about or insulting?
They said we wasn't real bodybuilders. I mean, I was just in the.
Yeah.
I bodybuild, but I wasn't like doing the whole stage. And I mean, but still, I was in the fitness, and it was pissing people off that people were standing in line to see us. Yeah. Compared to, the people that was in the magazines and it was in the bodybuilding Hall of Fame, this and that. And I was like, well, I'm like, the bodybuilders, y'all inspired me to get fit. Kevin, you inspired me to get fit, your magazines and the things you was doing. I was like, damn, when we were starting to get all this hate, I said, man, y'all inspired me. I'm trying to inspire you. Just get you a damn camera and turn it on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, see, the difference is bodybuilders are so concerned about how they look, want to impress everybody. And a lot of these dudes are walking around with this fake aura, this fake shell, that they're carrying. And y'all never came across like that. You didn't give a rat's ass about what anybody thought about you. You knew who you were as a man, as a family man, and a human being. And you guys always stay true to that. And that's, people always gravitate towards the truth. And the truth is one of the most powerful things, regardless if they don't like what you're saying or not. That truth speaks volumes. Yeah.
You know what's funny, Kevin? I mean, there's a lot of people in the fitness industry. I'm not going to say any names. I done took so many pictures with people.
Yeah.
Hey, let's share a photo and let's help grow each other's audience. I take the photo and then they say, okay, they look at the photo and say, let's take it again. Let's take it one more time. Y'all out angling me. I said, man, I ain't out angling you, man. Take it one more time. I said, man, dude, you just small. What you want me to do? Stand like 20 yards back that way? Yeah, the one thing about cell phones, and we'd always stick them in the center. We did that shit on purpose, Kevin. Because we got like really wide shoulders. Yeah. You can take the biggest dude, right? Put him in between us. That dude look like a tiny person. Yeah. There's something about them cell phones. Yeah.
No, it's something about how tall you guys are and how big you are. You guys put me in the middle and I look small.
We did that shit
I know
together.
damn well I'm not small. Now y'all just big, big dudes. Ron. And another thing, Keith and Kev, I mean, a lot of people don't know you guys actually played sports, right?
Yeah. High school was basketball, track and field. Yeah. Did the high jump, the triple jump. Yeah. Went to state in the high jump. Yeah. Right. I actually could have placed if I wasn't chasing women all night. Yeah. We was at the state tournament. Man comes up 3 a.m. talking about we're gonna find us some women. Yeah, I'm a virgin trying to find me a woman. I'm gonna lose my virginity. I'm not at home no more. God. Man, I used to clear like 6'3", 6'4". Yeah. Man, I barely jumped 5'8".
Boy.
Oh my goodness.
It's tired, man. Yeah, man.
Kevin, they made a good point. Is I talk to all these pro bodybuilders, and a lot of them are really bitter that there are these other people like the Hodge Twins, people that are really good at producing content for YouTube, for Instagram, whatever, and they work hard at it, and they have personalities, and they're funny, and they're engaging, and people want to keep watching them. Whereas a lot of these bodybuilders have the personality of like a wet dish rag, and they just think because they have this physique, I should have 1 million followers and I should have 1 million subscribers.
Exactly.
But it doesn't work like that. It's like music. You can't tell people what kind of music they're going to like. People like what they like. And there's a reason. Geez, I did the math on you guys. 3 channels? Is it 3 YouTube channels right now? Yeah. So I did some math. 5.67 million combined followers. So you're definitely reaching something. You're connecting to something in people that makes them really want to keep watching you. I've only seen maybe 10 or 12 of your videos, but man, you guys are hilarious. People love to laugh. I think comedy is the hardest thing. If you watch those talent shows, the hardest thing is comedy, the comedians, because if they tell a joke and no one laughs, it's just like it's so awkward. Where singers, they can sing, and if they're a bad singer, there'll still be some scattered applause, but you don't fake laughter. So that's genuine. That's
you tell a bad joke in front of 400-500 people. Everybody's looking at you crazy.
And you do stand-up. You do actual stand-up on stage, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing in the world. That's gotta be.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm in my very first show we did. Oh my, man, I was so nervous. I mean, turning on the camera and doing it is one thing, but when you actually go out and perform in front of a crowd on stage, it makes you appreciate what comedians do. Right. You know, it really makes you appreciate that because you don't really understand how hard it is just to stand on stage. People pay money to see you, and now you got to make them laugh. Yeah, like get what you pay for. Like YouTube, you can show a video, a picture. You can use things as props to help, make people laugh. But when you're on stage, the only thing you got is yourself and a microphone. Yeah, it gets lonely as hell up there. Yeah, if you ain't. If you don't
How long do you normally go for when you guys do the live shows?
About an hour. We go an hour. Yeah. We have an opening act, and then we'll do about an hour. So it's the whole show together is about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Do you guys write your content, or you just go off the top of your head?
Now, the one thing when we first got into comedy, and when I watched comedy on TV, I thought these people were just coming off the cuff. This wasn't playing. Let me tell you something. When you see a comedian in a comedy special, he didn't say that joke like 1,000 times. Yeah. This is not honed it. He been doing that material for at least bare minimum. The great comedians that really, treasure their craft, they would do the same act for about a year, bare minimum, and then they'll shoot that special. Yeah.
Wow.
Nobody goes on stage and just be telling jokes and it just comes off the cuff. Sure, when you're a comedian, you've been doing for a while, you'll get a knack of like coming up with something off the cuff in the show. But 90% of that show, is scripted. It's scripted.
Really? And
like
they make it seem like it's just so right off the top all the time.
Yeah.
So you guys would even say Richard Pryor did that as well?
Everybody did it. All the comedians do it. All the great ones do. Yeah. If they going up there and they just winging it, I'm like, damn, that's amazing. You get up there and forget everything you was about to say, and you still making people laugh. Yeah, you probably funny, but something's wrong with you. Yeah, you're doing something that's just making fun of yourself or something. But all these comedians, whether it's Kevin Hart, I don't care who you name, they all like a majority of these comedians. They have writers. They have like 3 or 4 writers writing their jokes for them. Yeah. Somebody that's finding out a special every other month. Like Kevin Hart, he's got like, I don't know how many specials he got. He has to have help, or these other comedians like Dave Chappelle, they actually have writers. But it's up to that comedian to make it funny. You can write a joke, it could be funny as hell. If you don't deliver it right, you don't say it right, it's not going to come off funny. That's what makes like comedians like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, them so special, because they can take something and turn it funny. Sometimes they can take something that's not even meant to be a joke, and just the way they deliver it, it just comes off funny. Yeah. More of an art form than a science. Yeah.
I guess I want to know who makes you guys laugh. Who's your favorite comedian right now?
Man, I used to look at old Richard Pryor. That's where I got all my motivation from, because he was the very first comedian that was a storyteller. Nobody told stories. Everybody got up there and just told jokey jokes. Yeah. He was the person, like every comedian, everything that they doing today is basically because of Richard Pryor. Yeah, he was the first one to do that. For some reason, that one guy's name is escaping me right now. Robin Williams?
Eddie Murphy?
Robin Williams, but the other white guy. With George Carlin. Him too, but it's another white guy. He's around right now. He's not dead.
Will, what's his name?
Jim Gaffigan?
No, not that motherfucker.
Will Ferrell?
Who?
Is it Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell?
Oh, what's his name? He shaved his head bald. Bill Burr. I've always gravitated to him. Yeah, Bill Burr and Richard Pryor. Yeah, those are like my. Dave Chappelle too. I mean, I'm not saying Jim Gaffigan's not funny. Comedy is like beauty is in the eye of the beholder when it comes to comedy. I'm not saying he's not funny. He's just not my style. Right. Yeah. I mean, this dude's paying stadiums and people's coming to watch. George Seinfeld. He's funny as hell in his show, but he's not my style. It's like my style of comedy when I look at it is like Bill Burr, Richard Pryor. Yeah, I like to be edgy. Yeah. I don't like to be cracking jokes about muffins and breakfast and all that.
Right.
Jim Gaffigan and Jerry Seinfeld, they're very clean. Yeah. It's like, who goes through their life that clean? Yeah.
Right.
I like to be a little edgy,
Have you guys had offers for like sitcoms or anything like that?
Well, us being conservatives, we are considered to be black Nazis. Yeah. Hollywood to be conservative is very abnormal. It's like a unicorn. Yeah. And if you are conservative, If you are
Oh my
conservative,
God.
you ain't telling nobody shit.
Yeah.
You got that close to the best. To be conservative in Hollywood, I mean, there's concerns, but they're not very
they keep it close to the vest. They don't they're not like us.
Hollywood is very, very liberal. I don't even consider it liberal. I consider it more like a far left. If you're not one of them, and if you're open about you having different views on politics, they can blackball you. Simple as that. They can ruin your career with one phone call.
Yes. Cancel culture is real.
I mean, that was always been one of our goals when we was doing Twin Muscle. We wanted to go into Hollywood. We set up a lot of meetings, but I came to the conclusion, man, I said, I don't need TV. I just need to be myself. I got all that I need. All I need is a computer, camera, and an internet connection. The internet, you do not need to wait for Hollywood to put you on. You don't need to have a sitcom. You can do everything today. You can do it all by yourself. You don't need a promoter. You don't need an agent. You don't need anybody. You don't need a network, nothing.
It'd be nice to have a sitcom though or something.
Man, they ain't gonna give us no.
But it's in a movie. Call it Hodge Twins. First scene. Yeah.
Oh man, Netflix, are you listening?
I know, man. Oh my God. Oh boy. So look, I want to ask you guys, turning towards the political arena, and all that. I mean, you guys actually think it's fixable, or how in the world did this country become so divided? And I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of hearing, one side is bashing one side. You turn on CNN, they saying one thing. You turn on Fox, they saying one thing. Then you go out here in the streets and the people, you got the people listening to CNN, the people listening to Fox. Everybody's brainwashed and nobody's getting along. Do you guys think this is possible to even fix it? I mean, what president, or is there any hope for the country, really, seriously? And
how do
you think it could be turned around?
I don't really think one person can do it. Like the Democrats, they can't do it. The Republicans can't do it. The only people that can really set this country straight is the media. If they're not willing to be objectionable and straight down the middle and keep both sides honest, this country will always look at Republicans a certain way. They will always look at Democrats a certain way.
And I think the division in the country, like you said one thing, that like you go to the Fox, they saying one thing. You go to CNN, they're saying one thing. But the one side that's like creating all the division, the one side that's saying the other side is actually evil and racist and sexist and misogynistic, homophobic,
Nazis,
is CNN. Yeah, that's how they paint
MSNBC.
Everybody on the right is just these evil white Nazi sympathizers. They say we Nazis.
Yeah, we had shows canceled us simply because
we was conservative. They canceled our show.
Yeah,
just because we did a video joking about something a transgender man did in the gas station.
Transgender went at GameStop. Y'all remember that? It's ma'am.
Yeah,
we did a video about that.
Yeah, it was just a comedic video. We was not putting anybody down.
Yeah.
And they canceled our show because we was transphobic. It's
like transphobic. Think about that. Like people have phobias. People are scared of snakes, scared of spiders. Who is scared of gay people? And they make up all these terms and they use it to say one side is evil. Like I've never, long as I've been born, I've never ran into a white supremacist. I've never encountered a white supremacist. I've encountered racist people.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, just because you run into one racist person, that doesn't make a whole demographic of people evil.
Yeah.
It just says that guy's an asshole. And they're trying to take conservatism, like conservatism founded this country. Without conservatism, I mean, I don't even think there will be in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Conservatism is, I mean, this country hasn't been perfect, and this country did a lot of wrongs, but no country's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, racism, they push it like that white supremacy is an issue in this country. And I'm 47.
Yeah.
I mean, you up there where I'm at. And it's like, I've been living on this planet for 47 years, man, and I don't have any issues with running into white supremacists.
And
I haven't met one.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, that's kind of like where I wanted to go. I mean, listen, you guys are mixed like I'm mixed. You know, my father was Italian, my mother was Black. Not once, and I can honestly say this, not once have I ever felt like a racist anything done towards me from a white person. And I just never experienced that. And it has never happened to me. Now, I don't know why or whatever. Maybe I'm lucky. I have no idea. Maybe it's the way because I'm raised. Maybe it's the way because, you know, my mother always said, treat people how you want to be treated. And I never came across to where I had an issue with somebody because of the way that they look or because of the way they had. Now, there's so many different forms of racism. Jealousy, probably, you know, but far as a racist act or something like, I've never been called by anybody, you know. And it just, is it out there? Yeah. Are people going through it? Yeah. So, you know, I feel for some people who do have it harder than others. And I do think, you know, the color of your skin and stuff has a lot to do with how people look at you and they judge you or whatever. But also how you come across, you know, how you speak to people, how you greet another person, you know, or do you greet them with respect or whatever. You always have to carry yourself, you know, how you want someone else to treat you. So have you guys ever had those experiences of
when I was younger, we grew up in Virginia. I mean, I've been called the N-word. I was called the N-word about 10 years ago in California when I cut this white woman off. But he deserved it, Kevin. He didn't kill
he did? He did?
I told him, I said, don't you look where you going?
Oh,
but
my goodness.
As far as us growing up in the deep South of Virginia, I mean, I've been called the N-word. I didn't. My friends, I had white friends say, "Hey, my mom does not want me to play with you." And I said, "Why?"
Wow.
He says, "Because you're Black." I was like, "What?" But you know, that's something I grew up in. But that's a part of life where I was at. And like major cities, bigger cities, a lot of people don't come across it. You won't see something like that until you go into the deep South or something like that.
Right.
But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, the last time I was called that N-word is when Keith cut that woman off in California. That was about 12 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, but people say stuff all the time when they're upset or they're having a bad day. It doesn't necessarily make them racist. Like, I've called white people names. It doesn't necessarily make me racist. It just makes me human. A lot of people like to say people are evil and white supremacists with no proof. You know what I'm saying? Like they call our president and Republicans, and they like to call people white supremacists. That term is just thrown around. White nationalism. Yeah, so loosely, it doesn't even mean anything. Like, I've been called a racist. Yeah. I've been told at my shows that I have light skin privilege. I'm like, look here, if I go in a Quickie Mart and I rob somebody, they're not going to say a light skinned Black male came. They're going to say an African American just robbed his store. I don't have any privilege just because I might be a different shade or I'm lighter than you. Everybody sees me as Black. Just I've ran into like true racist people, right? And it's like people think because we light skinned, we have like a privilege over like maybe let's say a darker person. Yeah. Look, a true white supremacist, when they look at me and Kevin and you, Kevin, being mixed, they see us as an abomination. Yeah. When they see us, they think either some white woman got penetrated by some big buff Black dude. Yeah. Or some or vice versa. They see us as an abomination, a true white supremacist, but those people are not around anymore, not at great numbers anyway. Yeah, they think a white supremacist is going to give me a break just because I'm a couple shades lighter and I have the white man's blood in me. No, he looks at me like an abomination, like, oh my God, a white person actually laid down with an African American or African male and had a baby. They don't give me no extra perks or breaks or anything. You know, I think
Ron,
excuse.
Have you? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think politicians use that to excuse of racism to gain power. That's all it comes down to. It's not going to change until the media and politicians stop playing that race card. Because Kevin, that race card, that's a powerful card for Democrats. For the Democrats, especially with Blacks, especially with immigrants. Yeah. That is a powerful card, and they're not going to let that go. Yeah. until the Democrats take ownership of what they're saying, because the only political party that's pulling that race card primarily is on the left. Yeah. It's the only side. Yeah.
Ron, have you ever had an experience with racism?
Well, no one's ever treated me badly, no, because I've seen it. You know, I grew up in
No,
Boston.
I'm talking about you being treated or called names.
No, never. No.
Never.
You know, it's the words that people try to use derogatory towards white people. They're nothing. They're like, what, cracker, ofe, you know, none of these
Like
they
a
bounce
joke.
right. Yeah, they're like, oh, okay. What'd you call me? It doesn't. I've probably
No,
a few
none
times.
of the N-word.
I mean, the N-word, that's jarring. That's like, you know, to me, that's like when women hear the C word, they're like, you know, it's a very it gives you an immediate physical reaction, like your skin crawls. And you know, I grew up hearing that word every day, the N-word, every day.
Really?
You know, been married to a Cuban woman 30 years. I grew up every day hearing Latinos called, people in my family call them spics. You know, turns out my older brother married a Mexican, I'm married a Cuban. But anyway, it was totally in Boston, very, very much institutionalized. You know, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, the Deep South is very racist, but at least they're open about it and they're honest about it. Whereas in the Northeast, racists sort of they'll smile and be nice to your face, behind your back they'll call you the N-word.
Yeah.
That's
I heard
terrible,
about Boston.
Man.
I heard about Boston.
I mean,
a lot of people have the misconception that only racism exists in like with white people. You can be black and be racist. You can be Latino. I remember my wife is Latino. She's from Mexico City. I went to her. She's a Latina. Yeah, Latina. I went to a Latino grocery store with her. You ought to see all the dirty looks I got.
Really?
Bodega.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think every
I feel like
group,
I walked into a damn KKK rally.
But don't you feel like every ethnic group feels that their women belong to them, and they hate seeing that their women with anybody else?
Yeah,
that's the way I see.
And you know what the thing is? They would stare. I don't know if they were racist or maybe they had some prejudice. There was prejudice against blacks. Maybe Latinos to stick to Latinos. I don't know necessarily if they were racist, but you know, it definitely drew their attention. They stared. Back then, you was about 20 pounds heavier. Ripped. And she was small, man. She was like 4'11". I'm like 6'3". That girl, when he met her, she was 12 years old. They thought I kidnapped that girl.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I went to Cuba in 2016, and Cuba has a lot of people from Spain descent. All the Indians, they were killed off like the first week when I think Cuba got invaded by Columbus or whoever it was. But it's very much, you don't see any mixed people in Cuba. You see very, very dark people, and you see people that look like they could have been from Spain or Italy or something.
Yeah, Cubans,
Yeah, Cubans, there's no mix. But then it's funny, you go to like Dominican Republic, I'm sure you guys have been there, totally mixed. There's no, it's almost completely blended. You don't see anyone that's really dark or really light. Everyone's like the same kind of caramel shade in the Dominican Republic.
So, you know, we're the other night, what was it? Vice President, she comes and makes her speech, right? And then this whole thing blows up again because what did she say? She says, America's not a racist country, right?
Right.
You guys know about that.
Right.
And then it was that just opened up a can of worms right there. And oh man, she got,
you know what's crazy,
Kevin?
Kevin?
She got slaughtered for it.
Right. You know what's crazy? And just looking at Obama got elected twice, she got elected, her and Joe Biden. If this was a racist country, Obama, he wouldn't have served one day as president of this country because this country is 70% white. If this was a racist country, it's no way that man gets elected. I think people, it's amazing to me that people they don't want to let go racism. I mean, there's always going to be some racist persons out there. Yeah. But it's like they won't let it go. It's like it validates them in their opinions that this is a racist place or this is why I'm not as successful as I want to be because of racist people. Because I was thinking, when Obama got elected, I said, wow, man, this country's came so far.
Yeah.
A black man is president of this country. Now black people have the confidence, you know what?
I can be whatever
I can be whatever I want. No, it's the direct opposite.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's got worse. It's like, I thought that would be eye-opening to everybody, both for whites and blacks, Latinos, that this is an amazing country to live in.
Yeah.
No, they're saying this country has a systemic racism problem, which is crazy. Because if that was true, you wouldn't see a black governor, a black mayor, a black president. Kevin Hart wouldn't be successful. The Rock wouldn't be successful. Samuel L. Jackson. None of these people would be in the position they are today if this country was a racist country.
Yeah.
Look, you go to the basketball games, you go to the football games, you go to the bodybuilding events. Who's 90% out there in the crowd? You know, it's white people. You know, right? And most of your football players are what? They're black. Most of your basketball players are black. But the white people's the white people are actually buying the tickets, supporting everything. So it's just sad to see that, you know, this country is so divided to such divisions of ideas. And even with the presidents, and I'll start talking about the presidents, you know, it really starts up at that level, you know, because the president is the guy that leads the country. He's the guy that sets the standard of, you know, just like I'm a father in my home, you know, I have to run my house accordingly. I have to, you know, be that fair person to everyone. So let me ask you guys this. Is there anything that Donald Trump did that you disagree with? And also everything that came down to storming the Capitol, right? What's your opinion on that? And do you think that was, you know, driven from a lot of the speech that he was talking about that day? Or was that like?
Well, first things first, a rod is a rod. When a lot of Antifa and people that was far left, when they was doing rides and burning down buildings, burning down Wendy's, Targets, that's
police
wrong.
stations.
Yeah, police stations, that's wrong. Yeah. When a conservative do that or Republican do that, that is wrong. Both of them are wrong. What happened at the Capitol building was dead wrong. At the very beginning, it was a majority. It was peaceful, but when they stormed that building, and I mean, that's just wrong. You can't. Nobody on the right accepts that as something being
and
good.
The president didn't say anything that would incite anybody to do that. And it's just like, I mean, it's like you got to understand the political climate that we in.
Right.
I mean, when somebody on the left or Antifa does something like up in Seattle, try to burn down the courthouse, they just call it protesting.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, if you're on the right and you're doing something to support our president and, you know, republicanism or conservatism, and you do something stupid like that, look how they spun it. They actually tried to impeach the president for that. They use it as a political angle.
Right.
You got to be smarter than that. That was horrible what they did, even though the cops was letting them in at first.
Right.
Which was weird.
Yeah.
It's looked like they would have had something set up in case it got out of hand, but it's almost as if they wanted something negative to happen.
It was kind of like, I mean, it was kind of like the onus was on our government. Y'all should have took the necessary steps to prevent something like that happen. When Black Lives Matter was there and Antifa was there, they had the National Guard there. But when conservatives and a lot of Trump supporters went there, there was non-existent, and the cops were waving everybody in. And then when things got out of hand, they start calling them domestic terrorists. It's like our media is not holding everybody accountable. They're not holding everybody on the left accountable, but they're going to paint a different picture when, say, a Republican or a conservative do the exact same thing. I think a lot of these things can be fixed if it just our media would just be open, fair, and honest. As far as what the president said, did he cause that?
No.
The worst thing he said, the thing he said that they said he was instituting violence in his speaking is when he said we need to fight like hell. That's a figure of speech. That's a figure of speech. He didn't explicitly come out and say, hey, storm the Capitol building. We got to get them. He didn't say anything like that. You have Democrats, liberal politicians actually saying things, explicitly stating things to be violent, to make people not welcome to, like Maxine Waters. She's came out publicly several occasions on TV and said if you see a Republican or a conservative, you let them know that they're not wanted. You make them feel unwanted. They're not welcome here. And then you get somebody just using a figure of speech and they take it out of context and say, oh, that was wrong. He caused this whole thing at the Capitol building. No, it's just like there's a double standard.
I think it all started when Nancy Pelosi stood up there and tore the paper up behind the president. I mean, how disrespectful was that inside of the Capitol?
And then when Biden's giving his addressing, she's clapping every second. It's like y'all never gave that man that opportunity to be accepted by everybody here in America. It's just,
and then you want to wonder why
people are too far left and too far right. People, I don't even think it's not even the right; it's the left. Yeah. There's no. They keep saying we're far right. There's no far right in this country. It's just far left. It's all this is coming from the left. I mean, everybody on the right is not angels. Yeah. But the left is causing all of this. They like to say a lot of conservatives and Republicans are far right, but it's just they just. But the KKK, they deem them to be far right. I don't know why Republicans in mainstream media like to say that, because KKK was founded by Democrats. They're a far left group. Then they're not associated with conservatism. They've never been. Conservatives always been, pro freedom, anti-slavery, and they like to class people on the right as far right. It's always been a Democrat. They called us far right. They said we have far right comedy shows. It's just dumb. Yeah, it's just stupid. Right. Nobody accepts the KKK. Nobody. Yeah.
That level of violence. Yeah, that level of violence is completely untolerated. You know what bothered me with the whole situation and then everything, it all is, of course, in our industry, a lot of people are politics, but of course they don't want to, not politics, but Republicans, and they don't want to come out, and as well as Democrats, they don't want to come out and speak their view. They hide behind the text message, they hide behind the DM, because they're so concerned about what their fans, they might lose their fans, and talk about athletes and everything across the board, So there's a lot of closet haters out there. There's a lot of closet racists and stuff out there as well. People in our community, of course. The thing with QAnon, right? Now, QAnon had a lot of people fired up, man, because there were like little signs and signals. Ron, I don't know if you know who QAnon is or anything.
Aren't they the ones that were trying to propagate this whole
whatever was going on with QAnon and stuff? It's like, QAnon, they brainwashed a lot of people, Keith and Kev. They really did. And they had a lot of people ready to just, cause mayhem out here in the streets. Like, I think, I don't know who was behind QAnon. Now I'm hearing that it might have been something set up, from the Democratic Party, but then somebody was saying, well, this is them sending out clues and Trump's people and this and that. But that caused a lot of division, really did cause a lot of division. And where's QAnon now? What happened to QAnon?
Yeah, no, they just like Facebook, Twitter, they shut down all those groups. Yeah, it was labeled a right-wing conspiracy theorist. I never really got into it because stuff that was coming across, I was like, I'm not going to even delve into this.
It caused so much division, man.
Yeah, it got too conspiratorial for me. Yeah. I believe in cold, hard facts. Yeah, what I can see, what I can touch, what I can feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be some truth to some of it. Yeah. But I need to see evidence. I need to, I just try to stay in what I can prove to myself. Right. Because some of that stuff got crazy as hell.
It really did, man. I had a lot of my friends that was completely brainwashed.
Oh man, you run into a QAnon dude at the gym. Oh, you ain't hitting the weights. He's gonna keep you talking for about 3 hours.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you losing your damn mind.
Yeah, no. I've read the website and started reading some. I was like, man, this is almost unbelievable.
Correct me, educate me, guys. I don't know a lot about. Was their main thing that they were trying to push this narrative that there was a secret group of high power people like an Illuminati that was running a worldwide sex trafficking and child pornography ring? Was that their main thing?
It was
pedophilia, like a cabal of people just doing evil things with kids. And they're deep into our government and they're looking out for each other. I mean, that might be some truth to that. I don't put anything past anybody. I mean, especially when you look what happened with Jeffrey Epstein and the power he had and the friends he had. I mean, if you having friends that are that close to you, especially with the Clintons. He was cool with Bill. He was on the Lolita Express like they said 27 times. I mean, if I have a friend, I know he's suspect like that. You know if somebody's up to wrongdoing. If somebody's a drug dealer, he's a criminal, he's doing wrong things, you know about that person within a couple days. And
come on over to Fantasy
with that
Island.
power and that close to somebody like that, who is doing those type of things, really puts I mean, I just look at you different because you're associated with that person. You know,
he was getting that mushroom tip wet over on that island.
Oh my gosh.
Man. I mean, there's some pictures floating around. There's I'm not gonna say the names, but they got actors, very well-known actors on that plane with him. There's photos. So when you see Hollywood talking all this stuff about Trump and stuff, and they was right there on the plane with that man. On the plane with Epstein like 20 times. Not going to dwell to it, but they wasn't photoshopped. They never denied it or anything.
Wow.
Getting it in.
It was getting it in.
Mushroom tip 247.
Leaving the nuts hanging out.
I
mean, hey Kevin, who has a plane with a stripper pole and beds? Crazy. That's crazy.
Well, we'd all like one, but
I mean, it's a time and place for everything, but on an airplane, let me relax. Let me look at some TV. I'm gonna go to sleep, man. It's a plane.
I have to throw this out there. You know, you say there's no that the racism thing is overplayed, but what do you guys think about the whole situation with law enforcement and the last couple of years with all these things came to light because now everyone's got a cell phone. You know, for decades, I'm sure police were getting away with all kinds of shenanigans.
And now they're getting busted left and right because if there's anyone around, they got a phone. Cops are have gotten away with things, but also criminals have gotten away with a lot of things. Those things are coming out just as well as what cops are doing is wrong. You see what criminals are doing. Pulling knives, resisting arrest, grabbing people's tasers and claiming to be innocent. So both sides is being exposed. We have some bad cops, but we have criminals too that break the law. And I mean, majority of cops are great cops. Right. But 99.9% of all these incidents is when they start resisting arrest. You get yourself in trouble. Because once that police officer's life is in danger, or somebody else's life is in danger, even if you're unarmed, they have the right to put you down. I mean, and it's like people don't understand that. I mean, I've never in my life, whenever I interacted with a cop, I've been arrested before for warrants and stuff, traffic and stuff. And when they put that, at no point in time did I ever think, I'm going to punch this dude in the face and I'm going to take off, or I'm going to take his taser, or I'm going to try to take his gun and get away. That's just, I mean, it's just dumb. These things that happen to people, getting shot, getting murdered, those things would never happen to me, my brother, you. Unless we actually ran into a white KKK police officer that had it in. Does not exist. Those people don't exist. These things that happen to people, losing their lives over stupid stuff, it happens majority to criminals. Hold yourself accountable. Do the right thing. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. When they put
it always gets escalated into as soon as you start seeing it going south, Ron. It's like, oh, it ain't gonna end well. And the police always ends up having their way. Guy, no, I don't want to get out of my car. Tell me why you stopped me. Tell me why you stopped me. Da 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 da. I mean, come on, man. Just give the man your license, registration. Just do it and just that's it. A lot of it could have been, just squashed. Majority of people just being shot and killed and they're losing their lives. Man, if they
with the exception of George Floyd, but a majority of these things wouldn't even happen if people would just stop resisting. I mean, things can go to.
It wouldn't happen to George Floyd if he just got in the car.
Yeah, but he was high.
Yeah,
he wasn't thinking straight to begin with, and that cop, he was just a total jerk because somebody's telling you can't breathe, and he's already handcuffed. He's not going anywhere.
That cop had that coming to him.
Yeah, he's just a jerk, and people.
What got him convicted was his lack of humanity for somebody who said they couldn't breathe.
Because he didn't necessarily use deadly force, but George Floyd was in a compromised position, him being on drugs and him having difficulty breathing. He could have helped save that man's life, but he made it personal.
Yeah. That was terrible.
He should have just basically just rolled the man on his side
or set him up.
Yeah.
And let the paramedics get to him a lot sooner. But a majority of these cops and the people that's interacting with these cops, I mean, it's almost like the media, especially from, more the liberal sites, they're encouraging people to act this way. I mean, you would save a lot more Black lives if you just tell people. If Black Lives Matter came out and say, just stop resisting, you have your day in court.
They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna tell you just give you a license.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna tell them to they actually want this stuff to happen.
Yeah,
if this stuff doesn't happen, you don't have Black Lives Matter. That organization is dead. They lose their money. That's why they don't say it.
Yeah,
they want this stuff to happen.
It's in your DMV handbook. When you pull over, you're required by law to give your license.
Yeah.
And everybody signs that agreement. Everybody accepts their license. You know what the rules are.
No, they just want to act out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. These cell phones are exposing cops, but it's also exposing these criminals and the activities around cops, claiming that there's racism, claiming that they took their life.
Like that incident in Ohio. The cop shows up, a woman's fight with another one, pulls out a knife.
Right.
Who acts like that when the cops are there?
Right.
You got not just a knife to like cut oranges and pears, you got a butcher knife.
Yeah.
I mean, the cops there.
Right.
I mean, when the cops come, you're supposed to be like, all right, shit, the cops are here.
Yeah, I'm behaving.
You gonna pull a knife out and you think the cop just gonna watch
It's like it's a different world for some people. Yeah. Some people just live in a different reality. It's totally different from normal society. Yeah. Pull a knife on a female, you just witness a cop get out of his car. He's right there in front of you.
And then you should always wait until you see the facts come up before you start running your mouth.
Right.
Yeah,
it's always horrible seeing somebody lose their life, but
I mean, it's horrible. Yeah.
When you look at the facts of what happened, I mean, the cop had no alternative. Yeah,
he
maybe he
no
could have shot in the leg. Maybe that would have stopped it, but that still wouldn't have. She still could have died from that wound. It's just when you see something like that happen in front of you and things that happen so fast, you just revert back to your training.
Yeah, they put all the blame on the cop. How about the woman?
Yeah. How about the female? How about
it doesn't matter she's 16. It doesn't matter she's Black.
Right.
She knows better. Right. She should know better at 16.
Right.
Yeah, and the cop, if he didn't they have to use equal force, right? So if she's going to do something deadly to someone, he has to counter with that with the same. If he had did nothing, then I don't know what would have happened if he didn't do anything. The police report, or he would have lost. What would have happened? Like
at the very least, that girl would have been stabbed and should have lost a lot of blood. Maybe she would have survived. We don't know, but they would have said these cops are useless if he would have did nothing. Yeah. Hey, you was there, you had a gun,
the cop used it. The cop can't win.
Yeah, the cops is in
either way.
For the most part, they can't win. They can't do
not a winning situation.
Right.
They have to come out with these damn predator nets, like in that movie Predator. They shoot that damn net on them.
We must have that technology.
Just catch your ass. Just wrap your ass up like a damn cocoon.
No, Black people say, no, man.
They bring slavery back. They got
the nets out like they used to do in the slave days, man.
I mean, cops can't win.
They can't win. They got nowadays with the rhetoric that the media and celebrities and Hollywood is spewing, the cops are in a no winnable situation. They can't win.
Great.
What do you think about that, Ron?
I don't know, man. I thought we were going to talk about like bodybuilding and muscles and,
Hey, listen, we're talking about what's going on outside of the walls we live in. We got to figure out how to fix it.
I'm just curious, guys. Did you, it takes to take any stand, because I heard Howard Stern the other day said something about Dwayne Johnson when he runs for president. It's going to fall apart very quickly because he's going to have to take a position. Whereas right now he's incredibly neutral, doesn't really take any stance on any issues. But once you're running for an office of that, the president, you know, you have to say, here's how I feel about abortion. Here's how I feel about immigration. And you're going to divide. A lot of people are going to say, nope, I don't like you anymore. I'm not going to vote for you. You know, you guys, I'm sure you didn't come out as conservatives, as far as I know, for a while. For a while, I just knew you as these, you know, these hilarious guys who are in great shape, giving fitness tips and making us laugh and entertaining. And it was, you know, very, very cool videos. Was it tough for you guys? Did you lose a lot of fans when you decided to take a stance?
Yeah. Oh, at first we lost a lot of fans. Like our fan base before we came out politically, our shows were a good mix.
Right.
You know, black, Latino, white.
Yeah.
It was proportional to what you find in America.
Right.
You know, in California, we had a big Latino fan base.
Yeah.
But
in the United Kingdom, we had a huge it
was white and Muslim.
Yeah.
Right. But now our fan base, when we go to our shows, it look like a damn Van Halen concert. It turned white. It turned black.
I mean, one of the main
black people ran for me like I was giving out Ebola or something.
The main reason why I came out, Kevin, is to as conservatives to let blacks know, hey, it's okay to think a certain way. You don't have to necessarily be a Democrat just because the skin of your
and we're letting them know too that the left is exploiting black people. They don't give a damn about black people, man. That's the reason why we came out. But you know, black people ain't trying to hear that shit.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you like this: no politician can help you.
Yeah,
nobody can help you. The reason why I vote conservatives is because I want the government to stay out of my life,
keep the rights
out of my pocket, stay out of my pocket, and ensure that I keep the rights that I got. Yeah. I know I can get that from the right. On the left, they're just going to exploit people's differences. What your gender is, your color, your skin.
Tax the hell out of you.
They're going to tax the shit out of you.
Going to make you wear masks.
And they're going to control you.
Yeah.
The left is big government. The right is limited government.
Yeah.
We're on the right, there's more freedom. When it comes to Democrats, it's more about what the government can do and help you do.
The government.
The government can never give anybody the American dream. That's just a lie. And until people wake up and realize that your life is in your hands, you're never going to be able to achieve a lot of things you'll be able to achieve in life. The American dream or being successful, because you're waiting on somebody who has all the power to give you something.
That's right.
You're waiting for somebody to give you something or give you something for free. That's never going to happen.
That's right.
You're never going to get the American dream in your mailbox.
Nothing's for free.
Ron, I don't know about Ron, I don't know about you, but I vote for policy, you know.
Yeah.
I've lost some friends because of my beliefs and you know, staying conservative and how I was raised. But that's how I was raised, you know.
Which is crazy, man, to choose somebody, a friend,
I mean,
to choose somebody over politics, you know.
Yeah, but the reason why I've lost
stop talking to me, you know.
Yeah,
now,
sad. Yeah.
I have family members, my sister. I mean, we still talk, love each other, you know. Most of my family are Democrats, you know, go over there, we're getting heated conversations about the presidents, about Trump, about this, about everything, you know. And, you know, here we are, we raised in the same household, but I've been able to see, you know, world from a different lens, you know, than they have. And by them being stuck in that zip code area, you know, I'm more global. I have more experience in the world. I see so many things going on, right? Globally. And so my views and also I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman and everything. So, you know, I'm voting for, you know, I'm first of all, I'm a Republican, always been a Republican, but a conservative as well. So, you know, taxes, you know, man needs to marry a man, all this stuff to where, you know, I'm looking at the structure of the household, the structure of, you know, what God's purpose for a man and these things. It really comes into play with me, you know, and that's how I vote. Do I love everybody? Yes, I love everybody. Do I have family members that are gay? Yeah. Do I had a family member that married a man and he was a dude? We get along, love him to death. But still, I was able to have those conversations, you know, without him hating me and stop talking to each other. Still loved him. But when I'm voting, I'm voting for structure. I'm voting for policies that I believe in, you know. And look, here we are now. Okay, the economy is booming, right? They say the economy is booming or whatever it is. It is what it is. But I'm looking at this tax thing, man. Like, things are going to. I was talking to my accountant earlier. Things are going to get real crazy within the next 12 months, you know. And these middle class dudes making this money, you know, and everything. I mean, they might probably going to end up between state taxes, you know, state taxes and federal taxes, probably end up paying 40% or 50% of their taxes is going to be gone within, like, you know, a year from now. You know, and who do you think is going to pay for all this, you know, fines, giving money away left and right, giving so much money away, people don't even want to get out here and go to work no more. You know, I have friends that own companies and they saying they can't find workers,
right?
You know, because America's just giving away, you know, money, but it's coming from our tax dollars, of course. Those things like that, it just concerns me, you know, because half of America right now a lot of people don't even want to get out and go to work.
Yeah, right.
You know,
it's like our politicians, our government is like prepping people to rely on that government. You don't have to go back to work. You're going to make more money if you just wait on these stimulus checks every other month. Socialism. It's like this country would be a lot better off if they would just let everybody go back to work, leave it up to them to make decisions whether they want to stay home and stay confined or if they want to go back to work. The government labeling people some essential and some not, it's just wrong. Everybody's essential in my eye. Everybody should have the ability to go back to work and provide for their family. It's crazy, like you lose like friends, family members, and all that stuff didn't start until the left started pushing this division thing about race. I mean, there's people actually think Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Have absolutely no proof of that. I mean, if you got proof, I mean, I like to see it. I mean, people's idea of a white supremacist gets a white guy you don't like. They don't really know what a white supremacist truly is. That's why people don't talk to friends and family anymore. They lose friends, lose family. It's because the left, one side, is pushing all this division. Nobody that's a conservative Republican is saying they hate somebody because they're liberal. Nobody, no conservative is going to turn away somebody that's liberal. You know, it's just crazy. I mean, Charles Barkley brought it up on his show, said the politicians are dividing the country, but it's only one side. It's just one side. You know what I'm saying? It's just people are pulling that race card. And like I said, that race card, if you're black, man, that's a powerful card because they're going to exploit it as long as they can. I thought that race card was gone when Obama got elected, but no, they still preaching to them that this country is racist, even though they elected a black man twice. You know, he beat a white woman and 2 white men. That doesn't happen in a racist country.
That's right. Well, guys, we're gonna have to lock it up real soon. My battery's getting low on my phone. But
it's always getting low, Kevin.
I know, man. I don't know, man. Like I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. Because, you know, so look, how about this? I'm gonna ask you guys, like, what you do? What's your suggestions? I mean, it's almost like, you know, for your followers, for what kind of message do you have for America and people around the world to you know,
I would say this,
what should they do to fix things, man? Seriously.
I would say this: if you're liberal, if you're conservative, never go into a conversation thinking you know everything. Go in that conversation open to listen and learn from the other side. Never go in a conversation thinking you know everything, because we both can learn from each other. It doesn't really matter if you're liberal or conservative. You know, it just matters us coming together as a country and figuring out what's the best step forward. Because those things really don't matter. The left just people don't want to listen. People don't want to. Because I go in a conversation, a lot of people lose their cool because they want to be right all the time. You just go in a conversation, you know, I'm gonna have these opinions, I'm gonna share these facts, and I'm gonna listen to your side. Nobody's willing to do that anymore. Everybody wants to say you're wrong, I'm right. The right's willing to do it, the left's not willing to do it. It's all coming from one side. It's all coming from the left wing media. I mean,
Yeah. Everything was wrong with this country is coming from the left. I can go in there and be nicer. I've ran into liberals, and some of these people are the most god-awful people you would ever want to meet. They're not trying to have a conversation. Yeah. You'll never see a liberal politician going on a conservative talk show. There's you might see a couple, but you don't see many. If they can't control the conversation or the narrative, they're not going to do it. Yeah. Because they know they will be exploited. They'll be put on blast. Yeah. Because you'll never see AOC go have a debate with a conservative like Candace Owens or anybody that knows what they're talking about. They won't do that. Because these people are idiots. They know they're idiots. They're not going to do that. Yeah, they're just going to continue to sit back, use that race card, and tell everybody this white nationalism, racist. Trump's racist, his followers. That's all they got to do. Because a lot of people fall for that. Yeah, that's not going to ever change ever. Yeah, never. This is never changing. It's only going to get worse. Yeah, unless some unicorn comes out and runs as a Republican and brings everybody together and he's charismatic and maybe it's Caitlyn Jenner, man. Maybe it's Caitlyn Jenner, man.
I know, right? Hey, Caitlyn turned the corner. Sound like she turned the corner last night on Fox News. I was like, what?
Yeah, she's Republican.
How is that possible, Kevin?
She's Republican. She leaves her sexuality, her gender, all that out of that. Because Caitlyn is like a lot like us, Kevin. She's been around the world. She's global. She's had a brand. She's an entrepreneur. She gets it. She didn't ran into every walk of life. She knows life. She's been around. She's not stuck behind a desk doing a normal 9 to 5 like a lot of people. Yeah. And they tell her that TV and they keep telling her.
Caitlyn didn't bite the tongue. Nope, not at all. Caitlyn was straight up. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And she's transgender talking like that.
Yeah.
Most transgenders ain't got no sense. Yeah.
And she talked about her opinion on transgender in sports.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's like common sense. Yeah. And it's like they just paint the right like we're evil, like to say a dude that's living his life as a woman shouldn't race another woman, because that's how sports always been. It's been about biology, not what you feel you are. It's always been about biology. Yeah, you'll never see a woman transition to a dude and dominate male bodybuilding or NBA. You'll never see that shit. You take a woman transition, go into college football or the NFL, they'll break that bitch in half.
Woo!
Oh man.
Can you imagine a female transition to boxing and trying to fight Tyson? You won't see it, but you will see a man transition to a female, and you'll see him dominate, and people like this. Oh man,
like that MMA fighter.
This is amazing.
MMA fighter. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair to women. It should be all the things women has went through to be treated equal in this country. Now you're just gonna let men compete against them? Because it's just moving backwards. Yeah, it is.
That's right. Hey, Ron.
Yes, I have an idea. The only way that all the differences could be put aside and everyone could get along is if an alien species invaded our world, like in, what was that movie with Will Smith, Independence Day? We would all have to put our differences aside, political, all that stuff. Yeah. And, these tentacles and spaceships and lasers, we'd have to worry about that for a while.
I tell you what, they come down from outer space and they liberal. We're fucked.
We done.
Oh, man.
I think everybody be getting the mushroom tip then. All right, guys. On that note, man, we're gonna have to bounce, man. I want to say thank you, Keith. Thank you, Kev. Hodge Twins in the house, Ron.
Thank you, man.
Ron,
thank you.
We had a hell of a good show, huh?
It was a damn
good show.
It was different, man. This is definitely a departure from our usual. Yeah, good stuff, man.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Take it to another level.
Finally, some substance.
Yeah. Keith and Kev, I'm going to give you guys the honor of Xing us out of here, man.
Yeah. Oh, you know how to close it, right?
Yeah, close it out.
That was a damn good show. Yeah.
Yeah. And don't forget to get the Hodge Twins. Go ahead. Say it, Keith and Kev.
Don't forget the Hodge Twins merch. HodgeTwins.com. Use discount code Chinese Virus. I give you 20% off. Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, baby. MD Levrone Report. We're out of here with Keith and Kevin Hodge Twins. My guest host, Ron Harris. Peace and one love, guys. Stay strong, stay focused. Love no matter what.